Hello, scholars, and good morning or good afternoon whenever you're watching this. Welcome to another day of science, and welcome to your very first recorded lesson from science. So, if you let me just remind you that our first class of the week for science will be live, and you'll be able to talk to me live and ask questions. And we're going to be doing some work live together. But our second one, which is going to be every Friday, that is where you will go into your Google Classroom. You will hit my pre-recorded lesson, and you will listen to me. Um, so it's going to be different, very different, but the good thing is you can work at your own pace. So if there's a moment that I'm just talking too fast or I'm giving you way too much information, you are more than welcome to pause it, rewind it, watch it again, fast forward if you want. Um, so there's a good thing to the recorded lesson, that you can just work at your own pace and you can go as fast or as slow as you want. Last class, so our very first class, we kind of talked about our procedures, our expectations. We sort of went through Google Classroom. So I kind of want to hit on Google Classroom again today. And in your materials, all of you have gotten a investigation notebook and a spiral notebook. Okay, we're also going to talk about why we use what we're going to use these for and why we use them. Okay. First of all, I'm gonna pull up Google Classroom and I'm gonna go over these the little tabs I have in Google Classroom. Now, this video right here, it's gonna be the exact same for second through fifth grade. So I'm gonna hit on second, third, fourth, and fifth, but they all look the same. Like the you're gonna see. You're gonna see. Let me share my screen real quick, and then so that you know what I'm talking about. So not that one. Let's see. So this is second grade Google Classroom, okay? This is going to look the same for third, fourth, and fifth as well. But this just says second grade. Now, when you go over to your classwork, you'll see that I have these right here. They're called topics. What does this one say? It says notebook notes. So I have notebook notes, assignments, resources, extra credit and participation, and then the intro, what you guys did last class. So let's go over what a couple of these mean. And there's going to be two more added, okay? You're going to see those two next week when I pop it up, okay? So right now, notebook notes. So on every assignment, you see that these assignments are numbered 1, 2, and then you'll have journal entries. So every assignment, I'm going to give everyone 2 ways to turn it in, okay? Since virtual learning is so different and it's going to be so new to us, I'm giving everyone 2 ways. You can either type your answers, or you can write your answers in your spiral notebook and turn in a picture of it. So for example, let's go right here to our what is a scientist, okay? Under notebook notes. If I ever, if you ever want to write your answers in your notebook, in your spiral notebook, I'm always going to give you a picture of what I want it to look like. And I'm always going to upload it under notebook notes. So right here is our journal entry. What is a scientist and what do they do? All right, you see I wrote the question and then I'm writing in complete sentences. A scientist is blankety blank blank blank, and they blank 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 blank. Okay. Each grade I'm going to ask you to do write different amounts of sentences. Okay. So of course, if you're in second grade, you're not going to write as much as a fifth grader. Okay. But as we progress throughout the year, we're going to start writing more and more, because that's what scientists do. They write down their ideas and they write down their experiments and thoughts and all that. So that's what notebook notes are, okay? So if we go to assignment 1, that won't be due until next week. All right, you'll see exactly how I want you to have it. Okay. So right here under assignments, oh, that's just for you to upload. When you look, so when you, next week, when you click on assignment 1, this is going to be everyone too, okay? Everyone is going to have an assignment number 1. I'm just using 2nd grade as an example. So you're going to see this. You're going to see Google Slides. Slides is when you type, okay? I'm going to ask you to type if you want to, okay? And then, so that's in the yellow. Or you can upload a picture, which is Google Forms. It'll have a file upload. So you take a picture on your computer, you save it, and then you upload it here, okay? We're gonna learn how to do that, okay? That's gonna be a work in progress. So those are assignments and notebook notes. Next, we have resources down here, okay? Resources are going to be, so right here I have class codes. So if I ever ask you to log into what we call Amplify, which is the science that we're using this year, if I ever ask you to log into that, you can find your class code right here. You guys already know that your Zoom link is right here. That's how you came to me for your Zoom link. That's the Zoom link for if you ever lose it, you lose your schedule, it's going to be posted right here. For 2nd grade, I added a book, okay? So there's a book we're going to read. There's also one in some other grades too. I will always upload the books right here. And then everyone has this slide right here. Right here, I'm going to add for under extra credit, all right? Those are going to be like participation grades and extra credit later on down the road. So if you ever have any questions, you can always come to your classwork and everything is going to be organized right here. Now the 2 I'm going to add are recordings and which will be added by the time you watch this, but recordings and PowerPoint. So every PowerPoint that I go through, I'm going to upload it right here so that you can go back and look at it and you'll be able to look at all my notes as well. So that's a cool thing. So that is Google Classroom. So that was 2nd grade. I'm going to show you how 3rd grade and 4th and 5th look the exact same. So notebook notes, assignments, resources, intro. Okay, 3rd grade. 4th grade, notebook notes, assignments, resources, intro, same thing. And then 5th grade, same thing. Okay, awesome. 3rd through 5th, you guys don't have any extra credit yet. Haven't done that yet. So let me go back to 2nd grade right here. Awesome. So next I'm going to stop sharing. Awesome, because I want to show you your investigation notebooks, okay? So every single person got a spiral notebook, all right? These spirals, I know a lot of you got the composition notebooks. These are for science, okay? Right now, I want you to take your spiral notebook. On the back, you see where it's the brown, the gray? I want you to take a pen, a marker, take something other than a pencil or a crayon. Whatever you want, and I want you to write science. SCIENCE. Okay? Science on the back. I want you to take a few moments and do that right now. I'm going to give you a few minutes, okay? All right. Awesome. So in our science notebooks, this right here, This is where we're going to do all of our journal entries. We're going to take notes in it. So we're going to write definitions. We're going to write our thoughts, our questions. And this is where if you wish to turn in a picture of your work, this is what you'll do too, okay? But this is yours, okay? This is yours to write. I'm not taking this up at all right? The only thing I'm going to be looking at is if you upload an assignment and all you're doing is taking a picture. Other than that, this is your science notebook, all right? Every scientist has a notebook, whether it's like a small flip book, a huge anchor chart. Every scientist carries a notebook. They write down their thoughts, they write down their ideas, they write down any questions that they have. So when we're going through lessons, especially on recorded lessons, if you have a question, I want you to pause it and I want you to go to the next blank page and just write your question. Write it out. I want to point out the most important thing that we do as scientists when we write things, we label our papers. We label them. So it may look backwards to you, but I want you to look at my page right now. Look at the top, the very top. What do you notice? What do you see? I have name and I have the date. I have my name and the date. That helps us stay organized. So that was the What is a Scientist, my journal entry. Let's see when I go to my assignment number 1. Look at here. What do you notice? I have my name. I have my date. But I also labeled what it is. I labeled it. Whether you're 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, college, me, or Mr. Benton, whoever, you label your things. That helps us stay organized. A good scientist is an organized scientist. So that's what we're going to do. We are always going to put our name, our date, and we're going to put exactly what we're writing on that paper. Whether it's notes, we're going to write notes. If you have a page of questions, you're going to write questions up at the top. If it's ideas, you're going to write ideas. Remember that. No matter what, I will be looking for that when you upload your assignments from your notebook. I will make sure that they are labeled. If not, I'm going to correct you, okay? So that is our science notebook, all right? Your ideas, our notes, assignments, that is what's in here, okay? Now, let's move on to our investigation notebooks, okay? Everyone has one of these. Let me get out all of them. So if you're in 2nd grade, that's this one. If you're in 3rd grade, it's this one. 4th grade, this one. And 5th grade, this right here. So these right here, if you've already looked through them, you'll see that they're kind of like worksheets. They're worksheets that are going to go along with our lesson, and they just help. It'll be the exact same thing if I were printing you off some worksheets, except it's in a nice book all together so that you don't lose it, all right? We're not going to rip any pages out. We're not going to do anything. At most, I'll ask you to take a picture, okay? I'll ask you to take a picture of your work and upload it, okay? But a lot of what we're going to do in here is going to be to help reinforce what we learned, okay? So it's going to be really cool, and I'm really excited to have these, and you guys will too, I promise. So we have our notebooks and we have our investigation notebooks. So those are the 2 main things that we're going to use this year in our science class, all right? So if there are any questions that you have about how to access Google Classroom things, if you have a question about any of the topics I have, any of your classwork, how to get to something, if you have a question about your notebook, whatever, feel free to reach out to me via email. My email is always posted. It should be in your schedule and in your materials. So if you have any questions, reach out. I'll be happy to answer, all right? So you guys, make sure you turn in that journal entry. What is a scientist and what do they do? And make sure you do that intro PowerPoint. Those are due by next class, okay? So you guys have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.